Ever look at a 3D model and go, wow, that looks like a raccoon carved it using Wi-Fi? Yeah, same, but today we're fixing that. Because great models aren't just about shape, they're about texture. The tiny details that make something look handcrafted versus making it look like it came fresh off a Curse STL. Welcome to Make or Build It, the channel where we're making smooth blobs look like unbelievable objects. Using Nomad Sculpt, a stylist, and a little bit of zooming in. If you're new to the channel, we're all about 3D printing, 3D modeling, and DIY projects, so now may be the perfect time to subscribe. I'm Brian DeLuca, and today I'm breaking down the secret to making perfect 3D model textures. How to add details without ruining your models, over-noising it into oblivion, or rage resetting your undo history. Whether you're texturing miniatures, props, terrain, or something you swear is gonna look great when it prints, let's make it look intentional. If you're wondering where to get textures from, I normally use ChatGPT. You could ask it to create some textures. As you can see here, I asked it to create some goblin skin for goblin mask and make sure it is a square because that's what I need to import in Nomad Sculpt. And it gave me this green texture, which was really cool. And I just asked it to convert it to black and white. Let's dive into Nomad Sculpt. So we have our goblin head here. I'm just gonna clone it really quick. Just so we have a comparison. We have our goblin, and you may recognize this guy from the mask video we've done or one of the other videos we've used him in. So how do we add our texture or skin? We just click over here and we're gonna import. Then we're gonna say import file. And we're just gonna navigate to where we have it, which is right here for us. And we're just going to open this. Now it's gonna bring in the goblin skin we made in chat, and you can see it here. So there are two ways you can put your texture on. One is the brush tool. And if you click here on the brush, you'll see the skin is already loaded. So you have your intensity, which is how intense it is. And your radius is how big your strokes are. So you don't really need a lot of intensity here. And as you can see, if we start layering it in here, we'll start seeing the texture go into the skin. Now, you could use the brush, but you could also use the stamp tool. Now, if we click on the stamp tool, let's just go and grab our texture once again. And we see here, now if we start stamping, we could actually start layering in this texture, and the same thing. We can control the intensity that we want. As well as how big of a space. But the thing about the stamp tool is if you drag it, it will make a bigger radius. So you can do it either way. I've done it both. I actually like the stamp tool, but the brush tool actually gives you a lot more control over where you're laying in your textures. Now, if we look at him in comparison to our other goblin, we see he has much more. Let's make his nose a little more porous. He has much more detail on him. So let's get these printed and compare the two. And once again, like I said, you could change your settings depending on what you'd like in terms of how you want your skin to look or your texture. And we see here, he's looking pretty good. We're gonna print these two up so we can compare them as two 3D models. And I'm also gonna do a mold of our friend here, and we'll compare the mask that we made in the last video to this one. So our two little 3D printed goblin heads finished printing, one with texture and one that is just basically non-textured, and you could really see the difference in these. Let's take a look at them up close. The one with texture looks much more realistic. added a whole other layer of texture. It's also helped eliminate some of those layer lines on the top where it's very rounded. And it looks really, really, really good. I'm happy with the way he turned out. So if you haven't seen my other video, recently I made this goblin into a mask. I have them right here, as you can see. I'm actually going to make a textured version of that also. Finished our 2 silicone rubber masks. And as you can see, this was the original with no detail. I used the one that was actually from the 2-piece mold, and this is the one with the texture on the skin. As you can see, this one has a lot more detail. Let's look at them up close. So this is the one with no detail, and that's the one with the texture on it. This mask is sort of thinner than the other one. I put more layers on this one, but you could really see, like around the nose, you could really see the difference in the texturing and how much more realistic, and in this case, sort of goblin creepier, it actually looks. And there you have it. Those are our textured models versus our untextured models. So now you know the real secret of great textures in Nomad Sculpt, or at least how I do it. It's not more brushes, it's not more noise, and it's definitely not turning up the strength or the intensity like an angry badger. It's restraint and layering, and knowing when to stop before your model looks like it survived a meteor strike. If this video helped you with your 3D modeling, make sure you hit the like button. For more on 3D printing and 3D modeling DIY maker projects, make sure you like and follow Maker Build It, and remember, keep on making. Oh, and remember, the difference between realistic and ruined is usually just one brushstroke.